Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for another Dead Mall feature. This time we are taking a journey out to central New York to showcase a mall that has been struggling for a long time now, Auburn's Fingerlakes Mall. The mall is located on the far west side of Auburn, located along routes 5 and 20. The mall's remote location would factor into its decline, as the main retail area is located on the other side of town, closer for traffic coming from Syracuse and points east. Plans for Fingerlakes Mall were announced by the Syracuse-based Pyramid Companies on August 4, 1978. Built at the cost of $10 million and designed by the architectural firm of Alfred H. Dalpos, the mall opened on April 9, 1980. Opened with JCPenney, a 4-screen movie theater, and room for about 90 stores and services, the mall initially only had 12 open on the big day. Because of the remote location that would hinder the mall later in life, here, too, it proved to be a problem. Alas, stores opened as the first years went on. Mall staples such as Kay Jewelers, Barbara Moss, GNC, all opened up shop. A second anchor, Kmart, opened its 68,337 square foot store May 1, 1980. A 10-bay food court was also operational, with an upstairs mezzanine originally planned to house extra seating for the food court, but after the first year of operation, a skating rink would open. Interstate 90, as it was called, would open by late 1980, complete with a 1940 DeSoto lifted by a crane to the upstairs area to serve as the sound booth. Syracuse-based Chappell's Department Store opened a secondary boutique-style store on April 1, 1981, taking up inline space next to Kmart. By September, Pyramid already called it quits on Finger Lakes, selling to First Union Real Estate Investment for $25 million. First Union continued to invest in the mall, opening more stores, increasing capacity to 65, along with an expansion in 1982. A 41,536 square foot Sears store was added on the mall's south side across from the food court. As the 80s came to a close, the mall was doing well. By 1990, however, the mall's original owners, Pyramid, opened their flagship Carousel Center in Syracuse, affecting a multitude of malls in the region. Chappell's closed their Finger Lakes store by 1993 and moved east to the Camillus Mall in a vain attempt by that property to escape the inevitable in regards to Carousel. 2 years later, Kmart would follow. Peebles Department Store took over the Chappell space by year's end. Stores shuffled around, the theater changed owners, and Jo-Ann Fabrics and Rex TV and Appliances would take up inline space through the 90s. In June of 1999, First Union sold the mall to Jaeger Management for an undisclosed price, but they had no intention of keeping the mall. As quickly as they bought it, it was flipped to Gregory Greenfield Associates of Atlanta by October. Under Gregory Greenfield's tenure, the mall would see its biggest success rate. In 2002, Bass Pro Shops of Springfield, Missouri, was looking to enter New York State. They had looked at several sites, but announced in September of 2003 that they would choose Finger Lakes Mall due to its central location within the state. The mall concurrently would undergo a remodeling project to remove its dark and dated 70s-era architecture and replace it with an Adirondack outdoor theme to complement the new Bass Pro store. The store would take the space of Sears, which was required to move. Sears took up space in the former Kmart, and their old store was reconfigured and expanded. Bass Pro Shops officially opened on June 10, 2004, along with the unveiling of the mall's completed $1 million-plus makeover. New stores signed up for leases at the mall, such as Journeys, Maurice's, Verizon, and others. All wanted the chance to be at the mall along with Bass Pro. A big box center called Finger Lakes Crossing opened across the street, featuring the Home Depot, Dick's Sporting Goods, Circuit City, and more. The rejuvenation and push for Bass Pro and its positive ramifications for the mall were credited to Gina Spino, who served as the mall's general manager at the time. Local Assemblyman Brian Kolb was quoted in the Auburn Citizen at the time, saying, quote, "Her heart and vision communicated to the public time and time again that this was going to happen, and it did." End quote. I can only wonder how she must feel now, given the current state of the mall. In light of the recent events, Gregory and Greenberg wanted to cash in on the mall's newfound success and immediately looked for buyers. They found one in the form of the Cyba Corporation, via their subsidiary Finger Lakes Mall Acquisition LLC. CEO Sam Abram stated at the time that it was an attractive purchase and the mall cost him $27 million. The deal closed in 2006, and at the time, Cayuga County signed a pilot, or payment in lieu of taxes agreement, projecting that the mall's assessed value would increase from the 2006 value of $5 million to $25 million by 2019. Alas, the Great Recession of 2008 would have other plans. Business fell, and stores closed due to corporate bankruptcies and increased rent to tenants. Rex TV, Walden Books, KB Toys, and others would shutter. Steve & Barry's also closed in 2008. They had previously taken over the Peebles space. Saiba Corporation would become an absentee landlord, providing promises of turnaround, but no action, leaving it largely to the mall management. And they should be commended for some of their efforts. Over the last few years, vacated store spaces have been turned into conference centers, karate, locally run businesses, and more. Vacancies of traditional mall tenants would continue by the 2010s. The movie theater closed in 2012 and would remain dark for 2 years until the locally run Track Cinema took over in 2014 with a 10-year lease and option to expand. Sears would close on January 11, 2015. By the time 2017 rolled around, the mall was still stagnating and losing tenants. Now the mall mainly comprised of locally run shops and event centers. Interestingly enough, the mall in recent years has become home to ghost hunting and supernatural expos, with the mall being opened up overnight to host ghost tours. While the promoters of the events have stated they have no explanation for the paranormal events that have thought to have been witnessed there, it nevertheless has brought the mall attention. Saiba Corporation CEO Sam Abram sought to put the mall up for auction in 2017, spanning a 3-day period in July. Bids started at $1.7 million, and there were several offers, but Abram rejected them as they did not meet his minimum price of $7 million. He continues to own the mall. Cayuga County pulled its pilot program due to the mall's continuing downturn, while the Great Outdoors RV showroom moved into the former Sears space by year's end. The mall remains in limbo, struggling on into 2020. Bass Pro remains the holdout here, even as rumors lingered that they would close the store. JCPenney is also a standout, having survived most rounds of store closures as of late, and remaining the last original tenant still in operation. Fingerlakes Mall is not alone. The continual decline of the American shopping mall rages on amidst the growing trends of online shopping, management failures, slumlords, and now, too, the COVID-19 pandemic, which is surely to wreak havoc on an already fragile retail sector. As the sun sets on these once proud shopping malls, we will be here to continue to document the decline and the preservational remembrance of better times when malls were king.